All right, so we got our piece laid in here, 45 degrees. Gonna come in, make some marks with our Sharpie underneath. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Saturday in the shop. A couple things before we get started today. We are going to be back on the GS build, and somebody mentioned in the comments last week I forgot to do the cost breakdown, and actually I think I forgot to do it the video before that too. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you don't watch our videos all the way to the end. But as part of this build series, I decided to keep track of and catalog every last expense on the bike, labor, parts, materials, all that stuff. So I just thought it would be something fun. A lot of people probably don't understand the cost involved with building a bike to this level. So I wanted to do that. So let's see, we're up to, well, today's video 14. So video 12, there was no expenses other than the labor. We spent 3 hours doing frame fab. Wait, nope, I'm sorry. There was $130 for aluminum round tubing, and then 3 hours of labor at $140 an hour. So for that video, it was $550 total expense. And then last week was no real expenses other than the labor, because we already had the tubing that we were using from the previous week. So that was another 3 hours of labor, $420. So if I can hold on to my papers, that brings our current grand total to $10,538.72. So I will do better about trying to remember to do this. We'll do it today. And anyway, just wanted to throw that in there. And maybe for some of the guys that don't watch all the way to the end, now you'll be interested and stick around to find out what kind of ridiculous money we're spending. So today the plan is to get the whole bottom cradle of the frame situated, get our cross bracing in. But before we do that, the first thing we need to do is finish up our last motor mount situation, which is the right-hand front lower motor mount, which is going to be a bolt-in piece. So I've spoken in previous videos, we need to drill this on a fixed angle so that then it'll bolt down into the frame and keep it held in place. So I got this little angle table. It's just a little cheap unit. It's from Viver. It's, you know, an import deal. So I'm hoping this is gonna do what we need. It's a nice, like, little cast T-slot table. God, these T-slots look smaller than my T-nuts though. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the ass, because I don't think I have T-nuts that are going to fit this. All right, we'll have to figure that out, see how we're going to be able to hold this piece. But here it is here. Just a nice little solid cast table that we can put on our mill and use to hold our mount to drill it on the angle for the setup we want to do. So comes with this little crank to adjust the angle, and that's what we're going to do today. So I guess first thing I got to do is figure out how I'm going to get some T-nuts held on this. If for some reason I'm unable to do that, which is possible, we'll just skip the motor mount portion and go direct to making frame brace tubing and stuff like that. And then we will order some T-nut hold downs. I need probably like mini mill T-nut hold downs, which I guess would have helped had I opened this thing up earlier in the week when it arrived. But whatever, no big deal. This bike is not on any sort of a deadline or timeline at this moment in time. So we're going to order some T-nuts. We'll skip the motor mount situation and move on to doing our bracing of this frame. Being it is an aluminum frame, I'm going to do a little bit extra as far as bracing goes. We're going to put a X brace down in the bottom and probably some extra X bracing into the frame that we wouldn't normally do on a steel frame, but just want to add a little bit of extra strength. So that's where we're at. We're going to jump out in the shop and start making some parts. All right, guys, so this is where we left off last week, obviously, and I want to put an X brace in here. So what we're going to do is do it a single tube to start, and then we'll have to do 2 tubes intersecting it. So I guess we'll just cut off a straight piece for now. We'll cut about 16 inches. Then we can lay our tube in here, get our angle we want, mark for our angles, which is going to be about 45 degrees. Try and make it look nice and even. Going to just jump over here on our Evolution dry saw. Going to take some of our screw ups from our tube bending and just use this, so that way we end up with a lot less waste than we would if we couldn't use these straight sections of this tube here. So this is just some Cut Ease stick lubricant. I don't remember to use it often enough, but it really helps keep these blades lasting longer, which are kind of expensive. This is a brand new blade. Just got brand new aluminum blade and a brand new steel blade for this because our old stuff was just shot. And you can just see how nice these things cut, relatively clean and burr free. So all right, so we got our piece laid in here, 45 degrees. Gonna come in, make some marks with our Sharpie underneath. We'll go back to the saw, lop these off at 45 degrees, and then we'll have to notch them. All right, so we got our 45 cut. It's gonna lay in here like so, ever so slightly notched. All right, guys, so we were looking at our tube here, and we've completely changed our plan. We're going to make a flat plate gusset in here with an X brace cut in it and a provision for our backbone to mount. It's just going to be a much cooler setup, cleaner, easier to install, and going to provide, we're going to cut it out of either 1/4 or 3/8 aluminum. I haven't decided yet. But it's going to be really killer and a nice kind of like billet machined piece to match our motor mounts and stuff. So before we do that, I think I'm actually going to pop these motor mounts out here and lay the bottom case half in. And what that's going to let me do is figure out exactly where we're going to want our backbone. And once we have that figured, we can draw up our piece. All right, so this is kind of approximately where our motor cases are going to fit. I'm happy with how that looks. So our backbone can come and clear anywhere in here. So I'm going to do a little CAD drawing on our cardboard with some cardboard aided design. So we're going to start out, our piece needs to be 11 inches wide, 11 inches. And then we want that, we're going to want that to come forward 8 inches. And then off the center, we're going to do a 2.5 inch circle. So we're going to do this like this. We'll draw it up on the Maverick CNC software table. and come back, cut that out, and see what we got. All right, so we got our plate cut. It's looking really cool, I think. And next thing we got to do is go over to the mill, and we're going to radius this inside. So I'm going to try and get a little mark on where we want that. We'll take a ball end mill, cut our 1¼ radius in here, and that'll let this sit down nice in the frame, lock into the tubing, and add a bunch of strength and rigidity and make a nice clean spot to weld. All right, so we got to get our mill set up here. Yeah.
What's wrong?
I'm going to take this vise off the table. I was trying to avoid it, but...
Oh, is it too high?
It's just making it too hard to where I can get it clamped down good. So,
what's it weigh, about 400 pounds?
Probably 80.
Yeah, right. That weight. You got to take up a little more on one side than the other.
It locks into the table, so it's. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because it's thick?
Brand new
Tip?
tip, yeah.
Oh, crap, dude. What a difference. Slim! Slim Whitman.
Be it. I'm going to do one more.
When you move that down,
Like 40 thousandths, 40, 50 thousandths. But yeah, now you see how clean it looks?
it's the way the bit's cut.
Yeah.
There's just a couple little spots.
All right, we got our first side cut here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. I'm going to run back over to the frame, just confirm our marks on the other side, and we'll come back, flip this around, cut the other side. See our nice radius cut in there. All right, so we got our one side finished. I'm going to flip it around, get our second side cut. All right, so we got our plate cut. Next thing we're going to do is make our little pedestal, which is going to be where our backbone comes and joins to this plate. So We're starting out with a big chunk, 2¼ or 2½ inch, 6061. Going to get this faced up, and then we're going to machine our part that we've got thought up in our noggin. All right, everybody. Going to interrupt the video here and try and get some quick information out there. The giveaway is back. We have tried twice now. This is our third and going to be our final attempt to get people excited about literally signing up to win a motorcycle for free. You don't have to spend any money. You just have to send an email and subscribe to our channel. I don't mean to talk to you like you're stupid, but this is so simple. I cannot understand how this is so difficult to do. The point of this is obviously for us to build our channel. Us building our channel helps us be successful. Therefore, the payoff of us giving away a motorcycle that we spent a bunch of time and money on is worthwhile. So, send your email, GattisGarageGiveaway.com. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel. And you don't have to, but if you want to actually win it, share this information with all your friends. We have 4,700 plus subscribers right now. If everybody gets one person to subscribe to the channel, we'll hit the number in like a day or 2 days, and the bike will go to its new home, which would be super cool for us. This is a simple thing. And I am just completely dumbfounded at the fact that we can't get people to do this. So, help me help you. I think that was Jerry Maguire. But anyway, we want to give the bike away. It'll be an awesome thing. It's a good feeling doing something nice for somebody. But yeah, we do have to get something out of it. We can't just build motorcycles for free and give them away. We'd be out of business quick if we weren't getting some return on our investment. So for us, the return on our investment is building the channel into a success. So please do this. And we're going to get back to our regular video. Quick interruption to talk about today's sponsor and something a little bit on the serious side. You know, we like to joke around here, but if you ride, which I assume you do if you're watching us, you know the risks involved. That's why I've got Law Tigers and my buddy Jason on speed dial. These guys are riders just like us, and in the unfortunate situation that something happens, motorcycle accident, you're going to need someone to fight for you. That's these guys. So save this number, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. But if the worst happens, just know you've got a team that fights for you and rides with you. Be sure to follow Law Tigers and Law Tigers SoFlo on Instagram. All right, so here's our piece, which will go in our plate. Fits nicely. Get welded in from underneath there. And we got our nice pedestal, comes down to our backbone. So we're going to head over and fit this stuff up on the bike. All right, so base plate is cut. Fits nicely in the frame. Our pedestal fits nicely. And this will end up here. We'll end up with a backbone. Once we get the mock-up motor put back together, come down and across back here, and then we'll build our back frame. So super happy with this. It's a really cool piece. Takes a long time to machine this solid aluminum stuff in a manual machine, but I don't care. So same thing like when we made all our motor mounts and stuff. I don't know. It's awesome. I'm really happy. Great idea going to this plate from the tubing. I think it looks really cool, and it's going to add a killer amount of structure that the tubing probably wouldn't have. All right, guys, that's a wrap for today. Got a couple big important pieces done. Dropped my phone on the floor. So before we get out of here, I'm going to give you guys the rundown on today's expenses. So today we had just really some raw material. We had a piece of 1/2-inch aluminum plate. It's 56 bucks. We had a piece of 2.5-inch round aluminum, 19 bucks. And then we had 4 hours of labor in plasma cutting the part, machining the stuff, and machining our backbone pedestal or whatever you want to call it. So the total for today, that makes it, let's see, 20 and 55, 75, $495 total for today, bringing the grand total on this build to $11,000, $11,033.72. And we have a front end and a piece of a frame. But anyway, I think you guys get the idea about what we're trying to do here with the build tally and calculations, and just so people can kind of follow along what it takes to get this stuff done. I think I had over an hour just in machining that little pedestal piece. It's, you know, manual machining can be really slow when you're making a piece with a huge chunk and turning it down to some small diameters and other dimensions. So still probably wouldn't make sense to CNC machine single parts, because the time you'd have setting up the software and doing your CAD designs and all that stuff would kind of negate the time you saved in the machine. So anyway, I really enjoy doing the manual machining, and I like to make parts, so it doesn't bother me one bit. But that is about it. We're going to get out of here. Please don't forget, check out gattisgarage.bigcartel.com. Every week we're adding new parts and products to that page. Lots of cool stuff. And if you like something, buy it. It helps support us, helps support the channel, helps us keep these videos getting made, and helps me work towards my goal of becoming a big parts manufacturer versus so much time spent fixing bikes. So anyway, that is it. We are out of here. I hope to see you next time at Gattis Garage.